Hello there, I'm Muhammed, Hamdan, and this is Nightline, the top stories. Malaysia to evacuate citizens from West Asia war zones immediately. Israel strikes Iran's military core as Tehran retaliates with massive Gulf attacks. Good morning. The government is finalising its evacuation operations to bring Malaysians home from the Gulf countries affected by the conflict in West Asia. In a statement on Monday, the National Security Council said the exercise is being conducted following a directive from Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who has ordered that the necessary measures be taken immediately. The Council added that it will coordinate the operation in close collaboration with the Foreign Ministry, working through Malaysia's diplomatic missions in the affected countries. It stressed that the government will do everything within its power to ensure all Malaysians involved can return home safely. As of March 8th, 641 Malaysians remain stranded in the region. Meanwhile, Iran has unleashed a huge attack on Monday on countries in the Gulf, with Bahrain experiencing the highest number of casualties since the beginning of the war. 32 people were injured in an Iranian attack on Bahrain's island of Sitra after the Babco refinery was hit by drones overnight. All the wounded were Bahraini citizens and included 4 serious cases, including children. Several other explosions were also heard Monday in the Qatari capital Doha, as Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait all reported new attacks. Qatar's defense ministry said its forces had intercepted a missile attack, while Saudi Arabia's defense ministry said the kingdom intercepted and destroyed 2 waves of drones heading towards the Shaibah oil field in the southeast of the country. In the UAE, the National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority said in a statement that air defenses responded to a missile threat, while Iraqi air defenses said they shot down a drone early Monday as it approached Victoria Base, a US-operated military compound inside Baghdad International Airport. Earlier, the Israeli military claimed it attacked Iran's internal security sites and missile launchers across the country. The military said its warplanes targeted missile launch sites and command centers belonging to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) and the Basij Volunteer Force, causing significant damage to Iranian military infrastructure. The strikes hit a rocket engine production facility, multiple long-range ballistic missile launch sites, the headquarters of the government's regional corps, the Internal Security Forces Command Center in Isfahan, and another base used by the IRGC and Basij. The military said the operation was aimed at deepening the damage to the core arrays and foundations of the Iranian regime. Earlier, Iran named Mojtaba Khamenei as its new supreme leader about a week after his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was assassinated in joint US-Israeli strikes. The 88-member Assembly of Experts appointed the 56-year-old as his father's successor on Sunday, tasking him with guiding Iran through what is seen as the most severe crisis in its 47-year history. Key political figures, the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and the armed forces quickly pledged their support for the new leader. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said the appointment marked the beginning of a new era of dignity and strength for the nation. The development comes as Israel's military has warned it could target any successor to the country's leadership, while US President Donald Trump said the war may only end once Iran's military and leadership are eliminated. Back home, 5 million recipients of the Sumbangan Tunai Rahmah SDR cash aid are set to receive the assistance earlier than scheduled starting Tuesday. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said he hopes the early distribution will help the recipients prepare for the upcoming Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebrations. Anwar explained that the payments will be made in stages.
Jadi kita awalkan kepada 10 Mac 2026 sudah akan dapat dalam akaun STR fasa 2. Jadi yang peringkat pertama diawalkan mulai 10 Mac melibatkan 1.3 bilion ringgit untuk 5 juta berikutnya penerima STR supaya dapat dinikmati menjelang Hari Raya Aidilfitri.
Additionally, a special financial assistance of 500 ringgit will be provided to civil servants with grade 15 and below, including contract appointments, starting this Friday. It will also benefit religious officials and mosque staff, including 70,000 Imam and Bilal, as well as religious studies or Fardu Ain teachers nationwide. Government retirees and veterans will receive 250 ringgit. All payments are exempt from income tax. As for university students, the government is expanding the Fly Siswa airfare subsidy of 400 ringgit to students from selected institutions, benefiting 50,000 students on domestic flight routes. In another development, Anwar said over 125,000 Grade 1 administrative assistants will be promoted to Grade 5 effective January 2027. The promotions will be implemented in stages through the public service remuneration system.
Itu JPE sedang uruskan cadangan ini. Syaratnya itu supaya kita nak pastikan dia ikuti perkembangan, kelayakannya, sedikit pendedahan tentang IT, itu saja. Jadi mungkin sekitar 2 minggu atau lebih kurang begitu.
Some 107,000 clerical and operational administrative assistants, as well as more than 20,000 financial administrative assistants, will be affected. Malaysia is shifting gears. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has just unveiled the 4th Capital Market Master Plan, or CMP4, a high-octane 5-year blueprint designed to supercharge the nation's economy. With a massive 6.3 trillion ringgit valuation target, the plan aims to transform Malaysia into a regional powerhouse for investment and wealth creation. Now, to break down how this roadmap will redefine the investment landscape, Amanda Lopez has the details.
At its launch on Monday, the Prime Minister, who is also the Finance Minister, said the master plan ambitions are fully aligned with the country's broader national transformation, and that's to building firms which can not only compete regionally but also globally.
Our capital market must power this transition by providing meaningful pathways for companies to raise funds efficiently, scale with confidence, and innovate with purpose.
The Capital Market Master Plan also mobilizes capital and investments into the sectors that will drive sustainable growth towards climate resilience and a low-carbon future. Over the next 5 years, the capital market is projected to grow from 4.3 trillion ringgit, supported by stronger listings, greater mobilization of institutional capital, and deeper corporate bond and sukuk markets.
Ladies and gentlemen, the master plan is an ambitious one. We're aiming to grow the capital market size by 1.5 to 2 trillion in 5 years. This equates to a market size of 5.8 trillion or 6.3 trillion in 5 years.
To ensure effective delivery and accountability, a Capital Master Plan Steering Committee comprising key government officials and private sector representatives will be established to oversee the implementation. This Capital Market Master Plan not only focuses over the next 5 years, but also outlines the direction of the Malaysian capital market until 2045, taking into account the rapid changes in technology, artificial intelligence, and meeting expectations of global investors. Amanda Lopez, TV3.
Earlier on Monday, Anwar was among hundreds who paid their last respects to the late Royal Professor Tan Sri Dr. Syed Muhammad Nakib Al-Atas. He said the government plans to open a library to honour the late scholar's contributions to the nation, particularly in the field of contemporary Islamic civilization.
Tuanku Yang di-Pertuan Agong telah pun menganugerahkan Presiden Raja, dan kita sedang bincang untuk menjadikan perpustakaan itu sebagai perpustakaan Nakib Al-Atas. Itu saya akan bincang dengan keluarga. Itu sebagai satu gedung khas di Istek.
Anwar was accompanied by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof, Higher Education Minister Datuk Sri Zamri Abdul Kadir and Religious Affairs Minister Dr. Zulkifli Hassan. Also in attendance were Tengku Ampuan Pahang Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria and the Prime Minister's wife Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail. Syed Muhammad Naqib's body was laid to rest at the Bukit Kiara Muslim Cemetery at 12:30 p.m. after funeral prayers at the Al-Taqwa Mosque at Taman Tun Dr. Ismail. The founder and director of the International Islamic Thought and Civilization Institute passed away at 6:47 p.m. on Sunday. The Court of Appeal has overturned a High Court decision that ordered the government to adjust the pensions of retired civil servants based on a 2016 service circular. The decision effectively spares the government from paying 1.7 billion ringgit in arrears to more than 500,000 pensioners. The ruling was made by a three-judge panel comprising Datuk Lim Chong Fong, Datuk Azahari Kamal Ramli and Datuk Mio Hashimi Abdul Hamid. The appeals court decision arose from a judicial review application filed in 2024 by retired civil servant Aminah Ahmad and 56 other retirees seeking to have their pensions adjusted. Justice Dato' Azahari delivering the judgment said the issue had already been settled by a previous Court of Appeal ruling in 2022, which struck down amendments to the Pension Adjustment Act 1980 that provided for a fixed 2% annual increase for pensioners. The bench further held that the application was an abuse of process, ruling that the government no longer needed to pay 1.7 billion ringgit in pension arrears. Monday's decision, however, only applies to the 57 respondents in the case. Lawyer Datuk Baljit Singh Sidhu said the respondents will be appealing to the Federal Court. Malaysia's economy remains resilient and capable of withstanding the impact of the ongoing conflict in West Asia. Second Finance Minister Datuk Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan said last year's 5.2% economic growth provides a strong foundation for performance in the first quarter of 2026.
So we have the capacity to absorb some of the changes, but if this is a very prolonged crisis, then we will look at that point, But I think the key to remember is Malaysia's economy started the year with a very, very good footing.
He was speaking after attending the second ASEAN Banking and Finance Summit in Kuala Lumpur on Monday. Amir said higher global oil prices could also provide some positive support for the country's economy as an energy exporter. He added that strong domestic demand and ongoing infrastructure investments continue to support Malaysia's growth momentum.
Global investment flows are shifting. Technology, supply chains and capital are entering a new phase of competition. Where does Malaysia stand in this changing landscape? What's the country's path towards high-value investment, stronger productivity and long-term competitiveness? Azaria Tagaya speaks with international economic strategist Matthew Barsing only on Money Matters this Saturday at 4:57 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Kenanga Investment Bank said Malaysia's reserve build-up continues to be supported by stronger foreign exchange and gold holdings. It noted that foreign currency reserves have extended their upward trend for an 11th consecutive month, reflecting improved external financial conditions. Gold holdings also rose to a record level following additional purchases by Bank Negara Malaysia. Meanwhile, the ringgit strengthened for a fourth straight month in February, with the dollar ringgit averaging 3.91, its strongest level since April 2018. The investment bank also maintained its end 2026 target for the ringgit at 3.95 against the US dollar, although it said global market uncertainty continues to pose risks. Now, oil prices spiked near $120 per barrel Monday as the Iran war intensified, threatening production and shipping in the Middle East and pummeling financial markets. The price for a barrel of Brent crude, the international standard, surged to $119.50 per barrel early in the day, but later was trading above $101 per barrel, up 9%. Prices eased after French President Emmanuel Macron said the group of 7 major industrialized powers could dip into their emergency oil stockpiles in response to soaring prices. However, later Monday, the G7 said it had decided against using their strategic reserves, at least for now. The group also stressed that it was ready to take the necessary and coordinated steps in order to stabilize markets, such as strategic stockpiling. Water shortage hampers efforts against 3-lot blaze fire. This and more after this breather.
Istimewa Ramadan ini, saksikan keluarga selebriti pilihan anda menyediakan pelbagai juadah berbuka hanya di Jom Berbuka dengan Mi Sedap setiap Sabtu 7.30 malam di TV3.
Hai semua, jom sediakan Mi Sedap. Ia dirumus menggunakan tepung dari Australia dan Kanada dan dengan bawang goreng rangup kriuk-kriuk untuk rasa lebih asli. Mi Sedap goreng, kenyal, sedap, betul-betul rasa asli. Dapatkan semua Mi Sedap sekarang.
Pekerja asing langgar syarat permit diserbu.
Keluar! Kau nak aku tarik ke kau nak keluar?
Kontena dan saluran ventilasi jadi tempat persembunyian. Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Nak inspirasi gaya glam raya ini?
Saksikan Melodi Glam Raya Runway, sebuah pertunjukan fashion bergerak di dalam MRT.
Ikuti kami secara live stream di TikTok Ambassador Hangat Khamis 12 Mac bermula jam 3.30 petang.
Atau nak join perjalanan runway bersama kami? Jumpa di stesen MRT Bandar Utama pada jam 3.30 petang atau terus di stesen MRT TRX pada jam 4 petang.
Persembahan-persembahan artis pun ada serta peluang untuk mendapatkan hadiah menarik.
Melodi Glam Raya Runway.
Bijak bergaya.
Glam beraya.
Jom 30 hari, 30 level up iman. Tingkatkan pahala, kurangkan mengata. Let's go! Buat apa tanya AI kalau boleh, tanyalah Ustaz.
Kan ada pertolongan daripada kedua-dua amalan.
Jangan pendam sendiri, share je di Jurnal Muslim.
Mengapa kita menafikan?
Chill lepak more with Sembang Sahur.
Kurma dan air zam-zam. Tahan sampai pukul 2.30.
Sama-sama Ramadan, sama-sama berkat di TV3.
Welcome back. Deep sea exploration company Ocean Infinity has ended its search for Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 in the Indian Ocean. The mission failed to uncover any new information or data related to the missing aircraft. The company's vessel left the designated search zone on January 23rd. The operation spent 151 days at sea, mapping more than 140,000 square kilometers of the seabed. Despite the extensive search, no new discoveries were made. Ocean Infinity, however, said the mission had identified areas that could provide important cues for future search efforts. The company also reaffirmed its long-term commitment to continue the search for the missing aircraft. Flight MH370 disappeared from radar on March 8, 2014, en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, with 239 people on board. Out at 3 industrial premises along Jalan Kapar in Klang on Monday afternoon. The premises affected were a recycling factory, a paint storage facility and a vehicle workshop. Videos of the incident have since gone viral on social media. The footage showed intense flames and thick plumes of smoke engulfing the industrial area. The Selangor Fire and Rescue Department received an emergency call at 1:44 p.m. and dispatched 31 firefighters and 10 fire engines from 6 stations to the scene. The recycling factory and the paint storage facility were completely destroyed, while the vehicle workshop was about 50% damaged in the fire. A probe into the cause of the fire and losses incurred are ongoing. In Kedah, 2 army corporals have been remanded for 3 days to assist police investigations into an assault case involving 2 other soldiers in Sungai Petani. The 25 and 27-year-old suspects were remanded following an order by the Sungai Petani Magistrates Court. The incident is believed to have occurred on March 5th at about 10 p.m. in a barracks room at a military camp. 2 victims, aged 21 and 24, were reportedly assaulted and suffered injuries to their backs. Kuala Muda District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Hanyan Ramlan confirmed that police had received a report on the incident. The motive behind the assault is still under investigation and the case is being investigated under the Penal Code. Huge fire in Scotland triggers travel chaos. The details when Nightline returns.
Pekerja asing langgar syarat permit diserbu.
Keluar! Keluar! Kau nak aku tarik ke kau nak keluar?
Kontena dan saluran ventilasi jadi tempat persembunyian. Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui tonton.
Nak inspirasi gaya glam raya ini?
Saksikan Melodi Glam Raya Runway, sebuah pertunjukan fashion bergerak di dalam MRT.
Ikuti kami secara live stream di TikTok Ambassador Hangat Khamis 12 Mac bermula jam 3.30 petang.
Atau nak join perjalanan runway bersama kami? Jumpa di stesen MRT Bandar Utama pada jam 3.30 petang atau terus di stesen MRT TRX pada jam 4 petang.
Persembahan-persembahan artis pun ada serta peluang untuk mendapatkan hadiah menarik.
Melodi Glam Raya Runway.
Bijak bergaya.
Glam beraya.
Anda sedang menonton podcast Biar Tahu Jangan Keliru. Melayu, sihir, macam tak boleh dipisahkan.
Dalam perjalanan kita nak sampai kepada Allah tu, Allah akan sampai kepada kita dulu.
Kalau dulu masa bercinta, dating tu tak pegang handphone. Tengok muka kekasih tu.
Unik.
Complicated je.
Tak tahu, aku main forward je.
Kekalkan adab kita di media sosial. Setia bersama dengan kami di podcast Biar Tahu Jangan Keliru.
Bangun sahur tak boring lagi.
Oi, jom ikut Mami pergi masak.
Resepi berbuka buat satu family confirm jadi.
Tadi kita masak, sekarang ni kita nak buka puasa pula.
Ajak dia buka puasa lah together.
Lapar lagi. Menu more ready, kita lepak sampai pagi.
Combination dia.
Sedap. 1 bulan 4 pilihan. Janji kenyang ada untuk anda. Sama-sama Ramadan, sama-sama berkat di TV3.
Onto the foreign front. Glasgow Central will remain closed until at least Tuesday after a building next to Scotland's busiest railway station collapsed during a major fire. National Rail said there is no estimate yet for when the station will reopen. The fire, believed to have started in a vape shop on Union Street on Sunday, gutted the mid-Victorian Forest building, destroying shops and businesses on the corner of the station in Glasgow city centre. No injuries have been reported so far. The Scottish Fire and Rescue Service worked through the night to control the blaze, deploying 18 vehicles at the height of the fire. Rescuers continue to search for 3 people missing after heavy overnight rain triggered a collapse at Indonesia's largest landfill over the weekend, killing at least 5 people. The incident occurred at the Bantar Gebang landfill in Bekasi, where piles of garbage buried trucks and nearby food stalls following hours of heavy rain. More than 200 rescuers and 17 excavators have been deployed to sift through the debris in an ongoing effort to locate the missing. The National Disaster Management Agency has urged strict safety measures, warning that continued rain in Jakarta and surrounding cities combined with unstable debris could put rescue teams at further risk.
It's done.
Turning to sports now, badminton, the 2026 All England Open. National shuttlers Aaron Chia and So Woo-yik saw their bid to finally capture the elusive men's doubles crown fall short after they were defeated by Kim Won-ho and So Seong-jae in the final in Birmingham on Sunday. The world number 2 Malaysians were defeated 21-18, 12-21, 19-21 by the formidable world number 1 South Korean duo who secured their 5th title in as many tournaments. It was the 3rd time Aaron and Woo-yik finished as runners-up at the sport's oldest tournament, having also fallen short in 2019 and 2024. The loss also means Malaysia's 19-year wait for a men's doubles champion at the All England continues, with the last victory coming from Koo Kian Kiat and Tan Boon Hyung in 2007.